I'm trying. I'm trying. Please don't be upset. I'm trying. This is Politic Graham. Yes, today we have a lot to discuss, but as you all know, always I have to talk the fair use copyright disclaimer. I have to speak it to cover myself and cover this platform for YouTube guidelines. Fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, and news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Hello, Janice. Hello, hello, hello. Permitted by copyright. I'm going to repeat it again. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Hello, Child on Demand. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, now I don't know how long I'm gonna be on. Hey, Child. Hey, Janice. Yes. Today we have a lot to talk about, you guys, but I just had to read the fair use copyright to cover myself. And first we're gonna talk. Well, I don't know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about Young Thug, the future of Young Thug, his relationship with Gunna and Lil Baby, and Mariah the Scientist, Young Thug's girlfriend, Election Day, the Election Day ballots, as well as a mass. We have had another incident, okay? Another incident in Orlando, Florida. Child on Demand said, it's okay. I'm still on my shift. Will stay on as long as I can as well. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And like I stated, we have a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. And I want to start it off with, yes, I have to start it off with Gunna and Young Thug. But first, I want to talk about Young Thug. I made this weekend a Young Thug weekend, and the first person that made it be known that Young Thug was out, yes, Sean Hamm, yes, rest in peace, Quincy Jones. He will be missed. It's odd that you say that, Sean. Thank you for coming in, because I was going to mention him. So I'll start on down to Quincy Jones. Look, I'm always ready. And yes, rest in peace to Quincy Jones, a phenomenal gentleman, a producer, very well known in the music world. He passed away at 91 years old. Lena Horne, he did work with Lena Horne, Ray Charles, Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, and 100 of other artists. He leaves behind, I cannot make this up, 7 kids from 5 different women and 3 different marriages. Yes, you heard right. 7 kids from 5 different women and 3 different marriages at the age of 91. May you rest in peace, Quincy Jones. And yes, he did pass away yesterday, Sunday. But he lived a good life. I mean, he made it all the way 91 years old. But like I stated, we will talk about Young Thug first. And Sean says Tupac dated one of his daughters. Yes, he did. You're absolutely right. Let me pin that. Let me pin what you just said. Yes, he actually did, Quincy. Yes, made headlines. Like I stated, I want to first talk about Young Thug, his girlfriend. Yes, Child on Demand. Quincy Jones passed away, 91 years old. He surely did, and I want to talk about he did leave a legacy, and that's one thing I want people to always think about. You know, when you wake up every day, you know, what legacy do you want to leave? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be able to touch? You know, and I say that because even with Young Thug, some people feel that he got a disrespectful negotiation guilty plea. Okay, because with that guilty plea, it has been basically banned from ever coming to Metro Atlanta unless it is dealing with those special conditions, okay? But one person that I want to actually give a shout out to is Young Thug's beautiful girlfriend, Mariah the Scientist. And I'm going to play a clip. This was her actual response to when she found out that her boyfriend, Young Thug, was getting out. I have to give a absolute shout out to Mariah the Scientist, Young Thug's girlfriend. Hello, Eyes on Demand. Eyes on Demand says, hey, Graham, he passed away with this Diddy thing going on. See, I ain't gonna talk about, look, I ain't finna pick on Quincy like that and with no Diddy. Look, Quincy said, he said, leave him alone. He is resting in peace, 91 years old. He left behind kids. He been married, had 3 marriages. I mean, a lot of people can't say that. I mean, he had seven kids from 5 different women and was married 3 times. I mean, hey, he did it. He did it big, okay? He did it big. Hello, Narendra. Thank you. Shout out to India. Hello, Jacob. And yes, the person that you're looking at is Young Thug's beautiful girlfriend. She is a down girl. I mean, she held on to Young Thug for almost 3 years. 3 years while he was locked up for 2.5 years. She stood by his side, and even to the point every day, according to Young Thug's baby mother, she was the one that made sure Young Thug talked to all of his kids, all 6 of his kids, while he was locked up, okay, for 2.5 years. And I don't think a lot of women can do that. Considering Mariah the Scientist, she is 27 years old. She has no kids. She's never been married. I mean, she's been to college. That's why her nickname, her stage name is Mariah the Scientist, because she did 3 years in college up in the Queens, New York. Shout out to Queens. Shout out to the New Yorkers. With her, she went to college up in the Queens, where she did 3 years, majoring in biology, but she decided to pursue music. Okay, she decided to actually pursue music. And had it not been for Young Thug, I'm just gonna be very frank. You know, I don't know. I mean, she is really a woman I've never met. I'm gonna be honest. I can't say a lot of women in their 20s would do the things that she has done to show that full support for Young Thug, as well as that full support for his children. And none of those children are hers. She's not legally married to Young Thug, and I can validly say she has held it down for Young Thug. And a lot of women these days, they wouldn't even last with a man one day. So I'm going to show this video of Mariah the Scientist. I'm trying to get it up, you guys. Your daddy says, 5 me, shout out. And Narendra says, I should be a rapper. I am in the wrong profession. Narendra, you should be a comedian. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. I'm going to play a quick little clip of Young Thug's girlfriend, her reaction, as well as other people's reactions to him being released. Okay, on Thursday, he was actually released with a non-negotiated plea. We'll talk about that. I just found that out. That guilty plea that he did, it was a non-negotiated plea. I'm very even more upset about that. But this is Mariah the Scientist, his girlfriend, and her reaction when she found out that he won. Now, that person that you just heard, that was Mariah the Scientist. She, like I said, she's 1 in a million, you guys. I mean, when she found out that Young Thug was getting released, she actually like screamed, yes, that person that you just heard. And the next person that you would hear are T.I. and his associates. When they found out that he was free, T.I. actually FaceTimed Young Thug. FaceTime Young Thug after he had got out.
What's happening, brother? I did it. What's up?
Now, these are all good things. Yes, I'm so happy for Mariah the Scientist. I'm ecstatic for her. And she's a tough one because even with her, I want to just show this. As you can see, she's been through it since Young Thug was locked up in jail. Back in March, she was arrested herself for an altercation with a lady, yes, here in Atlanta, and she was booked for battery charges, and she had to pay the same day she was arrested. She bonded out the same day. Like I said, Mariah the Scientist, she's a real one. She's a real one, and she's a keeper. Because one thing about her, you can't let this face fool you. She is really about that life. She really is. And I think with her, I think Young Thug, if anything, he needs to hang around someone such as her. He needs to kind of keep his circle very small, very 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 small. And one person that I will show that he kind of made headlines recently over the weekend after he got out was, and I hate to say it, was this person right here. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Lil Baby. We're talking about Young Gunna. Well, not Young Gunna, Gunna, aka Sergio Kitchens. Yes, boy, have the times have changed. This picture was back in 2022. Look who they're standing by. You had Gunna and Lil Baby. Boy, has the times changed. Why? Because now, headlines, Lil Baby did a shout out to Young Thug as well. I said, you helped Graham. Eyes of Art said, you helped Graham pushing out the truth of Young Thug. Yes, it is. I just really don't like how he got the short end of the stick. I really don't. And I hope that, he kind of needs to, stay focused, as they say. And I want him to remember how he looked in the courtroom. And I'm going to show a clip of Young Thug when he almost broke down in tears on Thursday, talking to the judge and actually apologizing to people when he made that plea. He actually copped the plea. And this is the clip.
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, you know, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, my managers, my kids that's not here. Really everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just having so much time investing into this, and I am a smart guy, I am a good guy, and I really got a good heart, I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad, and it don't really have to have nothing to do with you, but it could end bad and it could, fall on you. And I know the choice is yours, it's up to you, and I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's at a bar in the future or something. Just out of this type of situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes. I come from nothing and I made something and I didn't take it fully.
Now, I want to say that I showed that little clip. I'm going to show another one, but I want Young Thug to remember that because with the comments that him and Lil Baby, what should I say, that the comments that he exchanged with Lil Baby, this after he got released, I'm just going to show the statement. Okay, it was a tweet. Okay, it was some tweets, and Young Thug made this tweet called "Real Plea Deal, Jack." Okay, I don't know if he was trying to throw shots at Gunna. Okay, and The anybody who knows that Lil Baby and Gunna, they are not on the same page as they were 2 years ago. They're not on the same page. Okay, anybody that knows this. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. And also with Lil Baby, he did make a statement. He put on his Instagram a shout out to Young Thug, and I'm gonna show that. And that's why I'm just like, I want Young Thug to still have that same feeling that he had when he was locked up in jail for almost 3 years. But this was the statement that Lil Baby sent out to to Young Thug. He said, "I miss you, MF. Welcome home, my brother. Thank God you able to get back into the fam in good health and spirits. Wish you none but billions, Jack. Whatever Whams say goes." And Young Thug's response to that, was, "Wham, let's drop one of these rats, Peter." Okay, so anybody knows, we all know who the shots were at, okay, allegedly. And yes, you guys, please hit that like button. We all know who the shots were at, allegedly, okay? And I just want to just say that because we all have to go back. And I'm gonna be honest. We all have to go back to Gunna, okay? He was arrested, as well as Gunna and the 26 other co-defendants. They were arrested back in May of 2022. Okay, Gunna, I have to be honest with Gunna. Gunna actually, he got arrested May the 11th, like you see, he got arrested. But by December the 14th, months, he couldn't wait. He couldn't hold out. December the 14th of 2022, this is what we see online. When Gunna gets out, he couldn't last. Gunna has no children. He has no, in my personal opinion, I don't know about you guys, he has no responsibilities like Young Thug. Okay, I'm just gonna be very honest. Young Thug has a whole record label. Okay, this is the record label that the district attorney team here in Fulton County in Georgia, they tried to pin against Young Thug, trying to make it seem it was a quote unquote gang. Okay, so Young Thug had more on his plate, I'll say it that way, than Gunna. But Gunna could not last like Young Thug, as well as the 6 other co-defendants that I will talk about in this live. He could not last. He tapped out by December the 14th of 2022. Months later, within the same year of 2022, he copped a plea. And I'm gonna play Gunna's statement. When he was in court. He was hoping that this did not get leaked out, but it did. He was hoping that it did not get, put out.
Is a music label and a game. And you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the game.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the game to the detriment of my community. YSL as a game must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes. In Gunna's court appearance.
Now, I will say this. That Gunna was praying that did not get leaked out. He was praying that did not get leaked out. Why? Because now we're here. We're here at this point. Lil Baby, a lot of people unfollowed Gunna. Okay? Lil Baby unfollowed him. I'm going to stroll up. Lil Baby unfollowed him. Dirk, does not want to deal with him. Drake, a lot of people did not want to deal with Gunna when all of this came out, okay? And the look on Gunna's face when he got out, I'm like, you couldn't last. You couldn't last. But this is the response Gunna got when he got out, when he actually got released. And I don't even think he's still seeing this girl. I don't even think he's still seeing this girl. But this is a clip the day he was released when he got out. Yes, they both look upset, J. Yes, they did. Very upset. Now look at this. Grabbing this girl's, you know what, rushing to the car. Gonna play it again. Grabbing this girl, you know what, rushing to the car, head held down. This was back in December of 2022. Hello, OG Brandon. Yes, you guys, this is Politic Graham. We're talking about Young Thug, his future, as well as especially his future with Gunna, because as of now, Gunna is still under the record label. Yes, he's still under Young Thug. But according to what I just showed you guys earlier today, this is the tweet that Young Thug put out to Lil Baby. He said, "Wham, let's drop one of these rats, Peter." Okay, so I don't know who Young Thug was talking about, but I think you guys know what it's looking like. Yes, OG Brand, thank you so much. Thank you so much, OG Brand. Thank you. And I said, help, yes. I'm going to pin what you just said. Oz, I'm running late. I'm going to pin it. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Please, please, please. This is Politic Graham. I'm talking about Young Thug. This case is just, it's chaos. It's pure chaos. Because at the end of the day, Young Thug needs to just relax, okay? If you're going to come out with an album, come out with an album, but there's no need to throw out the word rats and all of that, because I'm going to be honest. If it could happen to Young Thug, some people are speculating it's a possibility Lil Baby could be next. That is one of the reasons Lil Baby did not show up at any court, okay? Not at any day while this trial had been going on, okay? And I don't blame him. I wouldn't show up either, okay? I would love you. I would support you from afar, okay? Because the way the Fulton County is coming for these rappers, it is ridiculous. And like I stated, I don't think Young Thug at this particular time, I don't think he needs to say anything that would incriminate himself. He don't need to call anybody or mention the word rat or anything like that. Why? Because according to the conditions, he must oblige. He cannot say anything that would insinuate any form of gang or criminal activity on social media. And just like I stated, quote unquote, if we look down what he sent to Lil Baby, he said, "Wham, let's drop one of these rats, Peter." Okay, this at this particular time, yes, I apologize, K-Chat. I'm just a very passionate person. This is just how I am. Welcome to Politic Graham. I'm very frustrated with how things are going on with Young Thug. I feel like Young Thug, his life was taken away from him. Yes, he's free, but what do you tell a man when basically the district attorneys have told you are banned from your place of residence, your birthplace, your family, your life, your city? You're banned from your city for 15 years. I don't think that's right. And I think him actually tweeting this, "Wham, let's drop one of these rats, Peter." I think the last thing he needs to do is type this out. I really do. Hello, Anoni. Anoni says, why is healthcare unaffordable in America? Healthcare is unaffordable in America due to what's been going on, according to some people might say, how the Biden administration has handled. Some would say that. Some would say that. Okay. Now, me personally, I just go off what people say, and based off of you're questioning that, Anani. Okay, you didn't have to retract that. We can talk. I mean, you didn't have to retract that, but based off of what you're saying, I mean, you tell me, because when we look at the actual numbers, okay, what's going on in the election? I mean, people are leaning towards Donald Trump, according to polymarket.com. People are leaning towards Donald Trump. I don't know. I don't know why necessarily, because there has been a lot of things going on in the world recently that would make me think people would probably prefer Kamala Harris. I'm just going to be very honest. Um, I mean, recently, that's what I wanted to talk about. People are very concerned about even going to go vote. I'm just going and talking into what I'm seeing in the chat. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Kyle says Poly Market. Yeah, that's not Elon Musk sponsored. Kyle, why are you guys coming in here? But yes, Elon Musk is funny that you mentioned that with Elon Musk. He does have a quote unquote, they're threatening to sue him because he actually rewarded a lady $1 million, okay, to allegedly support Donald Trump, okay? And the Democrats are saying, they're questioning, is that legal for him to actually come in and do that? To come in and pay somebody $1 million, okay? And we all know Elon Musk, he is supporting Donald Trump. He is supporting Donald Trump based off of certain reasons, okay? And Dari, you say Cornel West. I'm going to pin what you just said. Cornel West, unfortunately here in Georgia, he has been banned, okay? And when I say he has been banned, it's gotten to the point they have already went to certain places where they vote, certain polls, to talk to the specific people that those votes will not count. If you vote for Cornel West, he did not meet the requirements of having, I think it was 7,500 people sign the petition for him to actually be on the actual ballot this time, him as well as another lady. So some people are stating that if you vote for Cornel West, you're really setting yourself up for failure, because at the end of the day, Cornel West, I can't speak for a lot of states, but I do know the state of Georgia, as well as, and eyes, if you're still there, the state of New York, they are not counting Cornel West, unfortunately. And hello, Matt. Welcome for coming in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Politic Graham. I was talking about Young Thug. But we're gonna move how you guys move. As far as, and Dari says Michigan, they counting him. They are counting him. Well, like I said, Dari, thank you for coming in. Here in Georgia, I really wanted to talk about that way back, because a lot of people were like you know, here in Georgia, they're kind of very upset that Cornel West's vote will not count. And people have took it all the way up to the Georgia State Secretary, as well as the governor, in the sense that Cornel West should be able to have a right, his right to be heard, as far as counting his vote to be counted. Why? Because even though they are saying that he will not be counted, his name will still be on the ballot. That's the issue here in Georgia. Some people feel like if he's not going to be counted, why is his name still on the ballot? And that is one of the things that we have a lot of issues coming about for tomorrow, election day. It's going to be a lot of issues. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. And Kay Chapman says a lot of men that vote don't really like Kamala. And that's, you know what, that is why here in Georgia. I don't know how it is for you, Dari. I don't know how it is for you, K Chapman. K Chapman, I'm not sure where you're from. But here in Georgia, Kamala Harris as well as Donald Trump, they have been coming to, I'm not making this up, ladies and gentlemen, every week for the past month. I cannot make this up. They have been coming here for every week. Every week. Why? Because this is a swing state. And I'm going to stroll down and show you just how this is the reason people are coming. And when I say people, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, this is why they are really coming in every week. I mean, every week. And Saturday, specifically Saturday, here in Atlanta, Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, she actually did 2 states in the matter of hours. She came to Atlanta, Georgia. I cannot make this up. This is all what happened on Saturday. Saturday, she came to Atlanta, Georgia. Also, Joe Biden's wife, Jill Biden, she came to Macon, Georgia. That is the south part of Atlanta. It's about an hour drive away from Atlanta. So Jill Biden was here in Georgia. So all this was going on. Okay. Kamala Harris, she came to a huge rally to, get people to, vote, state her policy, state what she stand, discuss certain things. And then she had to hop right back on her private jet and fly to New York to do the SNL skit. I don't know if you guys saw the Saturday Night Live skit, but she actually did the skit. Now, as far as the women go, it states that for Kamala Harris, 31% of white men are voting for Kamala Harris, and 82% of black men are voting for Kamala Harris. And as far as women are leaning more towards Kamala Harris than the men are leaning towards Kamala Harris. This is how the votes are going right now. Now, you guys tell me, because as you can see, I'm going to show it to you according to the polymarket.com, this is fair use YouTube guidelines. Donald Trump in Arizona is up 76%, and Kamala Harris, she's at 24%. Okay, here in Georgia, this is the most recent. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. I'm going to read the comments. Thank you for coming in. Here in Georgia, Donald Trump is 66%. Hit that like button, you guys. We're having a conversation. And thank you, Dari. Look, had it not been for you talking about Cornel West and UK Chapman, I wouldn't even talked about the politics parts just yet. So shout out to you guys. You guys, I go however you guys in the chat room want me to move it. Okay, and Narendra says, I am not saying anything right now. If things on belly up, then Kamala will hunt me down. Now, see, hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Pete says Trump 2024. I'm going to go into the comments. Dylan says first female president. We are ready for that before 2030. Hello, Dylan. Welcome, you guys. I love talking about the politics. Now, I will say here in Georgia, do you see the numbers, what I'm looking at? It says 66% Trump, 34% Harris. This is why Harris and Trump are really focusing in on these called swing states. I'm going to stroll to Nevada. Nevada, it shows 60% Trump, 40% Harris. Pennsylvania, that's another swing state. 57% Trump, 43% Harris. Okay, and I want to make sure I talk about Arizona. We have to talk about Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, because the topic I was going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about it since we're talking about politics right now. I have a question, since we have all these Trump people in the room. And we have a lot of Democrats in the room. Shout out to Democrats. Shout out to the Republicans, liberals. Shout out to all parties in the politics. Does anybody know what happened recently in Phoenix, Arizona? That's a question. And this is why people are very scared. People are very scared to even go vote tomorrow. People are very nervous to go vote tomorrow. Hello, Laughing. You says you are independent. What's up? Well, welcome. Dylan says I would go to war with Candace Owens. Whoa. And Mo says black men for Trump. Exactly. That's what I said. Black men are leaning towards Donald Trump, and and white men are leaning towards Kamala Harris. Okay, but I have a question. Danny says no. I'm glad you don't know, Danny. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for saying you guys don't know what happened in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to show it to you guys, and I can't make this up. This is why Kamala Harris says she's going to get lawyers. Okay, Kamala Harris is already, her team, they have already prepared for what might come tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, because of this particular incident. Okay, what you guys are seeing, do you see this? This happened between October 24th, October 28th. Both Portland, Oregon, and Washington, Vancouver, as well as Phoenix, Arizona. Do you see what I'm showing you guys? Okay, people are actually vandalizing the ballots. Do you see that? I'm going to stroll down to specifically Phoenix. Look at this gentleman. This gentleman was one of the people that actually vandalized an actual USPS. He vandalized it, okay? And he wanted to do it in regards to try to stop people votes being counted. Do you see this? I cannot make this up. I Am Free says they passed an executive order for military. Are you serious? They passed an executive order for the military to use excessive. No way. And K-Chat says you are real when I sub. Thank you so much. As you guys can see, this man right here, this gentleman right here, his name is Dr. Cluffcorn. He was arrested October the 25th. Yes, October the 25th, Friday. Why? Because on Thursday, he burnt a mailbox, okay, that had a number of ballots within it, this mailbox, okay? Because of what he did, he, according to what they stated, approximately 20 electoral ballots were damaged, okay? 20 of them, all because of him. And this alone, ladies and gentlemen, this was just in Phoenix, Arizona alone, okay? According to the authorities, they are looking for another gentleman. And I want to make sure we talk about this, okay? I want to make sure we talk about this with this particular gentleman right here. And I wish they would have spoke about this, both Donald Trump as well as Kamala Harris, when they had their debates, okay? And I wish they still speak on it even right now, because they're coming in Georgia so much every week now. And this is, like I said, tomorrow is election day. Tomorrow is the final day. This particular guy, he actually set a mailbox, okay? He actually burnt it, okay? According to what they said, this 35-year-old man, around midnight on Thursday, October 24th, he actually lit a piece of paper and threw it in the collection box, okay? The court record said that, like I stated, about 20 election ballots were destroyed, all because of him. And why am I mentioning this person? Because this guy, Danny says, we have had a few. Really? In Pennsylvania? Are you serious? See, these are the things people are very kind of nervous and wary about when it comes down to voting now. Because he wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only one. And even with him, he shouldn't even be out. He should have never gotten free, because I'm going to break down his actual, a little background about this gentleman, okay? According to court records, he pled guilty to paraphernalia in 2023. He hadn't been too long, came out of prison. He did prison. He was released out of prison back in June. Okay, June. And also, he pleaded guilty. I just want you guys to think about this. These are the people that we have to worry about. And I'm sorry I have to say it. And it has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with that. The people that I'm speaking about are the ones that are coming and trying to stop people from voting, stop the votes from being counted, because he's one of the people that now at this point, some people will actually have to come to vote tomorrow. Why? Because their votes that they mailed in have been destroyed. Okay? Their votes have been destroyed. Diary says he better not walk past cell block 1. The future looks bright, Danny. Don't be discouraged. Okay, and then what's the comments? Hello, you guys. We're talking about politics. This particular gentleman, he actually vandalized a mailbox that destroyed 20, I repeat, 20 electoral ballots. Okay? With this particular gentleman, he has already did prison time. It is really there. And even to the point, prior to him doing prison time, 2023, of him being released in 2018, he had been very physical. He He received a charge for that. He even tried to get a, I'm trying to see how to say it, an ammunition from a police officer. Construction workers had to hold him down. And when they asked him why did he do it, he said, and I quote, because it was cool. These are the type of people you have to be wary about. And see, I wish they would talk about the mental health. I wish they would talk about the people who come out of prison. Why aren't they receiving treatment to be fully rehab, okay, to come back into society? Because with this gentleman, I mean, something's not right. And this happened all in Phoenix, Arizona, which is another swing state, okay? And I'm gonna stroll back down. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham, and this is the next one. And they still haven't found this man. They said this was a man. This is another one. This was in Portland, Oregon. Okay, Portland, Oregon. This happened on the 28th. 4 days later, after what happened in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, this particular gentleman, and I want you guys to see, if you notice, if anybody out there that's watching this live, this is a Volvo, according to the authorities. They are looking for a gentleman that he destroyed the most. Okay, with him, he destroyed the most ballots, and I want to make sure I'm very careful and accurate with my words. According to the authorities, he destroyed hundreds. Do you hear me? Hundreds of ballots. Why? Because he made 2 stops. He went to, I'm going to make sure, Washington, Vancouver, and then the neighboring Portland, Oregon. And they were able to get a surveillance quick clip of his vehicle just before he vandalized this particular box, just before he vandalized it. And as you can see, what the damage that he did right here, this is what he did. Okay, and these are the things that people are very scared, very nervous, very wary. And even while some people didn't even want to do the early mail-in vote, some people say, you know what, I'm gonna vote the day of, because they saw this coming. A heads up. And I Am Free says, why wouldn't these areas be guarded, but the military sitting at my airport? And see, this is why now, and I know it's going to sound so wow, I cannot make this up, you guys, because things like this has been going on recently. Now they actually are saying some locations where you're going to vote, there will be bulletproof glass, okay? Bulletproof glass for the people that actually work at these polls, okay? And it also, locations like this, and I'm glad you you put that in. Who said that? I am free. I'm going to pin what you said because of this episodes like this recently. Now some locations are having 24 hours, okay? They are being watched 24/7 prior to tomorrow, okay? Around the clock. These specific ballot boxes are being watched, and then even in some locations, depending on state by state, they are actually being retrieved before midnight, okay? And you're absolutely right. Now they do have actual law enforcement as well at some of these locations. Why? Because so much has happened. I don't think you guys understand just how serious and important historical tomorrow will be, because people are getting so desperate to have people very fearful to vote that this gentleman right here, and I want you guys to make sure you be able to have a good look at this vehicle. It is a Volvo according to the authorities, okay? They still have not arrested this man. They said according to the cameras, they say this man is between the ages of 30 and 40s. He's Caucasian, medium to thin build, thin face, bald or very short hair, and likely with metal working experience. That's what they said. They said he has metal working experience. Why? Because he really damaged these two areas so bad. Hundreds and hundreds of votes will not be counted, and they're advising people to actually go vote tomorrow. Yes, that's just how serious it is getting now. And I'm going to go back into the comments. Hello, you guys. It's Politic Graham. We're talking about the politics. Yes, tomorrow is the day. Is the day. And I want you guys not to be in fear. Please don't be afraid to go vote. Ken says they nervous. Yes, they are. Diary says they should use the street cams to have us vote. Exactly. It's gotten to that point. And Cal, you're absolutely right. This gentleman right here that I'm showing you guys, this was the gentleman that actually destroyed 20 ballots in Phoenix, Arizona, October the 24th, okay? And he did it around midnight. And you're absolutely right. I'm going to pin what you said, and I'm pinning what you said because I actually want the people that's above us, okay? When I say above us, as far as in the White House, House of Representatives, the Senate, I want these individuals to do better with the mental health. I really, really do, because people like him, he should have not even been released out of prison, Cal. And yes, you heard right. He was released out of prison, okay, back in June. Back in June of 20, I want to make sure I'm accurate. Back in June of 2023. He shouldn't even been released, okay? This person has a record of using drug paraphernalia. He has a habit of being physical with people. He has a habit of attacking actual law enforcement and trying to retrieve their ammunition. This gentleman that we're talking about, and this is the person that destroyed 20 ballots in Phoenix, Arizona, okay? He messed up a lot of ballots. Yes, I am using that word. And hello, you guys. With this gentleman that we're talking about, this gentleman his name is Deter Clothcorn. He's 35 years old, and he has a huge record, and he destroyed a number of ballots in Phoenix, Arizona. And I want you guys to see here in Phoenix, this is the report, how it's looking so far in Phoenix, Arizona. It is 76% Trump and 24% Harris. This is why people are very kind of, worried right now. A lot of ballots are being destroyed, damaged, okay? And it's been false information that has been put out, so much to the point the FBI had to step in and let people know, don't fall for what this false information that is being put out to deter you from voting altogether. Do not Do not be that. Do not let this particular person, I'm going to show this person. And hello, you guys. Welcome to Politic Graham. We're talking about the election. We're talking about politics. I was gonna talk about Young Thug, but I like I said, shout out to Diary, shout out to K Chapman, shout out to Cal. You guys control the room. This is a safe place. We're talking about politics right now. K Chapman says this happens every election. K Chapman, you're absolutely right. It's always something, but I don't know what might come because I've never seen this. And you guys tell me this. I've never seen it where actual ballot boxes are being destroyed like this. Okay? This happened in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to stroll up. I'm going to show you another one. And I'm kind of scared. My prayers goes out to anybody that lives in Portland, Oregon, as well as Washington. Make sure Washington, Vancouver, because this gentleman is out on the run. He has vandalized, according to the reports, over 200 ballots, okay? Over 200 ballots because he went to 2 different states, okay? And he damaged a lot of ballots, and they still are on the hunt for him. They do not know where he is or anything. So at this particular time, I'm just trying to see, what is to come tomorrow, because tomorrow is the day. And people like this man, they don't even know how he quote unquote look. They're just saying case on case, identifying that he's medium to thin build, thin face, bald or very short hair. They have not showed nothing but a quote unquote saying he's driving a Volvo. That cannot do anything for any of us people here in America, especially to the individuals that live in Portland, Oregon, and Washington, Vancouver. They cannot do anything for us, for you guys to tell us that this man is in his 30s and 40s and is a white man. That cannot do anything, because now people are going to insinuate, well, be afraid of a person driving a Volvo. I mean, come on now. Just come on. So I want you guys to really, still vote tomorrow, because like I stated, here in the state that I live in Georgia, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, even Kamala Harris' husband, I forgot to mention him, he actually came Sunday. Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, they came Saturday, and Kamala Harris' husband, Doug, he actually came Sunday, okay? And that's just to let you guys know how serious this vote is really, really getting. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. We're talking about politics. We're talking about these swing states coming in. It's really getting serious right now. Danny says, who are you voting for? That's the question for the people in the chat. Who are you voting for? Me personally, I wanna put it out there. I don't want to say, I don't want to quote unquote take sides, because I want to welcome everybody. And Diary says, OMG, the Saturday Night Live was lame. I'm not gonna lie. And that's why I was trying to say, like, Kamala Harris, I just want you guys to understand, we had a big concert here. It was a huge event Saturday for Kamala Harris. A lot of people came. A lot of people attended the festivities to support Kamala Harris, to support the Democrat move. And she hops up on a plane to fly to do the Saturday Night Live skit. It was a little funny, though. I'm not going to lie. The skit was funny, though. I'm not going to lie. But the thing that I'm wondering right now is everything that Donald Trump and Harris, everything that they're doing, is it going to help them for tomorrow with these electoral votes? I want people to think about that, because based off of what happened back in 2020, they went off of the what? They didn't go off the quote unquote popular votes. They went off the electoral votes. So I really want people to understand, is everything that Donald Trump and Kamala Harris they're doing right now, will it be a benefit for them? And based off of what's going on, it seems like the way things are going, people are getting very angry, very negative, because people like this, what you're looking at, what I'm showing you, this guy who's still out on the hunt, you guys, actually damaged over 200 ballots in Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington, Vancouver. Narendra says, early 30s ball. Is that the perp's description or what Diddy ordered for breakfast? No. Hello, you guys. And like I said, Narendra. Cal says, who's saying that election an embarrassment? And Chapman says, don't like Trump or Kamala. You don't like Trump nor Kamala, so who are you voting for, K. Chapman, tomorrow? Who are you voting for? Savvy says, Trump, Trump, Trump. And PM says, what's Kamala's husband's last name? Oh, my goodness. What the question? Hello, you guys. This is Politic-Gram. We're talking about politics. And yes, like I said, I wanted to make sure you guys vote tomorrow. It is a very important day tomorrow, okay? And I also want to say this. Just because you're not sure about who you want to vote for president, I'm not sure about... Wait, you says... Dari says, wait, what's his last name? Okay, you guys want me to look him up. Okay, we're going to look him up. We're going to look him up. Oh, my goodness. Doug. Anybody in the comments, put it in the comments. Especially you Kamala Harris supporters. Oh, see, look. Now I'm finna pin it. Danny, thank you, Danny. I'm pinning it. I knew it. I knew somebody in the... I knew it. Tina, yes, Tina. Danny did it first. Danny did it first. Is this how you spell it? Is this how... I'm going to pin what Tina said. Is this how you spell it? This is Doug's last name. Yes, Doug was here yesterday. Kamala Harris' husband. He was here yesterday getting these votes in, okay? Getting these votes in. And Dari, I know, it's really sad. We don't even know Doug's last name. Doug's last name. But I want people to understand, and I'm going to stroll up, the mental health is real, okay? Mental health is real, and I'm going to do another video. I'm not sure. I might do it today, or I might do it election day, because that is the day. I'm going to discuss some things that Donald Trump said that I was kind of upset about recently, what he said in regards to Liz Cheney. I'm not going to say it, because I know somebody knows what I'm talking about. What he stated, what he wished to happen allegedly for Liz Cheney. That was a lot, considering what happened with this man, okay? When you say certain things, people like this man that you're looking at on this screen, they take it to a whole nother level. They take it to a whole nother level where they become very, very physical, and, they damage people and they damage things. And, you have to be very careful what you say. Danny says, without telling us who you're voting for, what policies do you agree with the most? Hello, Fabulous. Thank you for coming in. Danny, okay. Now, with the policy, I believe in, yes, a woman should have a voice with her body. However, I also believe in pro-life. I do not believe just because you feel, how can I say it? I don't believe that, the old saying, you do the crime, you do the time. I believe in you do the crime, you do the time, right? So if you make that decision that you want to have unprotected, okay, unprotected with somebody, and you become pregnant, then you have to deal with the consequences of having unprotected, okay? You have to deal with that. Okay? Because a child is, in my mind, considered life. when they are at the age of 6 weeks and 7 weeks of age in your fetus. Okay, so that is what I believe. That is one of the things that I stand by, and I'm sorry for anybody who takes it some type of way, but my thing is this: a child does not have that right. And that's one of the things I'm kind of like when people say, "Oh, what about a woman's right?" Yes, I'm for women, having a voice, being heard. Yes. But what about that child that did not ask to come into this world? What about that child? Don't they have a right? Don't they have a life? Shouldn't they have a chance to be able to live and have a voice of their own as well? So that's one of the major actual policies as for me where I stand. Okay, and like I stated, I'm not going to say quote unquote as far as who I'm voting for and all of that, but that's one of my major policies that I was kind of like, and especially here in Georgia, it was a lady. It was a lady named Amber Thurman. I don't want to get too much into it. Amber Thurman, she passed away due to the negligence of a hospital being scared. They were scared to actually treat her when she got ill from actually driving to North Carolina to get the pill to delete her baby, okay? And when she went to go get the pill to delete her baby, when she came back to Georgia, she ended up becoming ill, very ill, so much she had to go to the hospital. However, when she went to the hospital, due to the laws here in Georgia as far as life goes, the doctors actually waited 19 hours. I repeat, 19 hours to even make a decision to treat her. And by the time they made that decision to treat her, she ended up passing away. So for me personally, I'm kind of on the fence of things like that, because my thing is, once again, if you make that decision, to have, to lay down with somebody, if you make that decision to lay down with somebody, you have to think things out. And even when you take that pill, okay, that pill to delete, you have to weigh everything out, okay? The what ifs. What if something happens, okay? Can I go to a doctor, right? Do I live in a state that supports that, right? Do I live in a state that supports that? Because what we're looking at, you guys, and I'm just going to be very honest, with this gentleman right here, when he destroyed the ballots in Phoenix, Arizona, I mean, what happened when it came down to the authorities? What happened when it came down to the government that should have had him already, some type of treatment, okay? Okay, these are things we have to look at. Kay Chapman says pro-choice is absolutely necessary. And I'm going to pin what you said. I'm being very open. I'm just being, very open, about, policies and opinions. And like I said, you guys, this is just, an opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I do, and I quote, I speak truth. Okay, I welcome everybody, but I do speak truth. And Narendra, you are sitting in here saying Diddy in the house. What in the world has Diddy got to do with this? And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Sony says, let the fathers choose too. Yes. And see, these are things, I didn't see people talk about, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about the fathers? And that is one of the reasons I really believe, I'm not being funny when I say this, I really believe that is why men are supporting Trump. Black men, quote unquote, black men are supporting Trump. And then you have these women, they're supporting Kamala Harris, because we all know Kamala Harris, she is for the deletion of a baby, because she feels that women don't have a voice. Women should have a voice to do and choose what they want to do with their body. That's the, I think, and that's one of the things that I'm glad, I don't know if Danny, you said it. I'm glad Danny brought that up, because that's one of the factors that I think is going to kind of test Donald Trump, okay? Because you're going to have a lot of people vote tomorrow because of that one key issue, right? That one key issue that Kamala Harris has stood on, okay? She stood on that issue. I want to say even before she ran for president, she stood on that issue, right? So I think a lot of women are going to be voting for that. They're going to be supporting Kamala Harris for that key reason. And Danny says, oh, let me read. Kay Chapman says, a lot of women trap men. You are absolutely right. I think it's vice versa. I mean, either way, I mean, women trap men, men trap women. I mean, we can say either way. I mean, look what happened to Diddy. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I was going to say, look what happened to Diddy, but I'm going to leave it alone. Danny says, everyone has pro-choice. You have to choose to open or close. I can't read that part. Danny, you're going to get me in trouble. Danny, you're going to get me in trouble. But yes, you do. You do have that right. And like I stated, it's nothing against anybody that has to make that decision. My respect to people out there. And Eyes of Art says abstinence is the key. Yes, you're absolutely right. And and Amanda says Trump isn't trying to. He's not, Amanda. You're right. He's not trying to. But remember what I stated, okay? You have to look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he nominated J.D. Vance to be his vice president. Anybody that knows J.D. Vance is all the way pro-choice, okay? Pro-life. He's all the way pro-life, okay? And with J.D. Vance, he is for women to help provide resources for them. He is for women, finding a way to find resources for women before they have to make that decision to delete a baby. That is what J.D. Vance stands on. So you kind of have to ask yourself, okay, if J.D. Vance stands for that, then where does Donald Trump stands for that? If Donald Trump supported J.D. Vance so much, he nominated J.D. Vance to be his vice president. So those are the things you have to look at, And as for Eyes of Art, she says abstinence is key. See, abstinence of key, that's one of the things, it's easy to say, but it's hard to come by. Because you have a lot of people, have, babies. I mean, even with Quincy Jones, rest his soul, he passed away Sunday at 91 years old. He had 7 kids from 5 different women, and he was married 3 times. Okay, we have to put that into play. That's why I say, with Kamala Harris, she's for, quote unquote, her words, their words, not mine. She is for women's body, women having a voice, to do what they want with their own bodies, quote unquote, pro-choice. Eyes of Art said they never said they was going to stop playing. They never did. You're absolutely right. Amanda says it is each state choice. Neither candidate can touch it. Yes, you are right for now. But the question is, what will it be if Kamala Harris becomes president, Amanda? That's one of the things I'm gonna pin, what you said, Amanda. That's one of the things that people are trying to turn around, because look what happened. You had the Roe versus Wade, turn, right? So that's another issue, like people are really, excited this election. People are really trying to they're getting upset. It's some things we can't talk about. The conversations that we're having in this chat. Hello, you guys. Welcome to Politic Graham. The conversations that we're having in this chat room, we can't have these conversations. And we can't have these conversations, amongst our family, amongst our friends, amongst our peers, even amongst people in the street. Why? Because people are getting so upset, so upset, such as this gentleman that you're looking at, okay, 35-year-old Dieter Clough-Corn, okay, in Phoenix, Arizona. He actually vandalized, damaged over 200 ballots, okay? They're getting so frustrated. And we have to also take into play, what's to come with the swing states. And Danny, if it was you, I did state that's one of my main, policies, as far as my personal policy, as far as I'm kind of, as far as pro-life goes. I do believe women should have a right, to, speak for their body. But like I stated, you have to make sure, you have to be careful, you know, because we live in a country, right? We live in a country where this is democracy, but we also live in a country where things have policies, and some of those policies may not be, you may not agree with it, right? You may not agree with those policies, but you kind of have to tell yourself, if I take that pill, right? I take that pill to delete, okay? And something happens, and I go to a hospital. Can I go to the hospital in my state? Can I go to a doctor to help me? Because sometimes you have to ask yourself, is it worth making a decision that I can't take back? Is it worth that? Because when you take that pill, you're not only deleting that baby, but you're also risking your own life to deal with a matter that you don't want to deal with, or have an issue go away. I'm going to go back into the comments. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Amanda says, it's not about Kamala or Trump. It's about us. We must unite. I love it, Amanda. Thank you so much. Yes. That is why I did this platform. It's about us. And I really want people to think about that. It is about us. We as people. And when I say people, and I not only mean as Americans, we as people in this world, we have to unite, okay? Because you see what's going on in the world, ladies and gentlemen. You see what's going on. You see the wars that's going on. You see the people that need to come home. You see what's going on. And when I say come home, I don't just mean here in America. It's a lot of people need to come home. I don't want to get too much into detail with it, but you guys know what's been going on. You guys know what's been going on in Ukraine. You guys know what's been going on in Gaza. You guys know what's been going on. So that's what I mean when I say we need to unite. We need to, and we also need to make those valid decisions, okay? Valid decisions, okay? When we make those decisions as far as war, and that's another actual policy that as far as I go, Danny, with me personally, we have to make those decisions. Do we want war to continue, or do we support where people come home? Okay? People come home. Because at the end of the day, we're not always going to agree with each other, because it's a lot of things that people say in the comments and online. You guys may not agree with what I say. I may not agree with what you say, but guess what? I respect your opinion, and I will respect it enough to say, you know what? If I have to respect it, and I have to honor what your opinion is, to actually, we work together and unite, then I would do that. But it's just so much going on now, even in this election, okay? I'm going to be honest, even in this election on either side, people have not talked about mental health, right? We're talking about, okay, the decision as far as a woman's body. We're talking about war. We're talking about mental health. These are three policies in regards to me, Danny, where I stand. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna read the comments. I'm so sorry, Danny. You took it there, Danny. You got me there. Sorry. And yes, we're talking about politics today. Politics. Yes, election. Election is tomorrow. Tomorrow here in America. Lisa says, grow our food. Check out own homes. Yes. And Kamala Harris, that's one of the things that her and Donald Trump are kind of like iffy about when it comes down to their views, their differences as far as energy goes, their differences as far as how they're going to get the taxes, as far as money. They have a bit of differences when it comes to that. And the reason I'm saying it that way is because no matter who becomes president, Based off of their policies, we still going to have a long way to go when it comes down to this deficit that we have, the inflation of groceries, the inflation of a lot of things, and even to the point people are losing their homes, right? People cannot people are in the position they have to make a decision. Do I eat today, or do I have to pay my bill to have a roof over my head? These are decisions. Or do I eat today, or do I save that $20 to put the gas in my car to take me to work? These are actual decisions that people are having right now. And, at the end of the day, I'm kind of iffy on both, as far as their policies, where they stand on that. That's just me personally. And hello, you guys. Welcome to Politic Graham. We're talking about politics and mental health. And shout out to Danny. Shout out to Amanda. Shout out to Kay Chapman. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Eyes of Art. Yes, and shout out to Sony. We are talking about this politics this morning. You guys got me hyped. I wasn't even going to talk about it. I was going to talk about it later on, but but I was going to talk about it later on. But Danny brought it, and Kay Chapman took it there. They got me hyped. Danny says Trump said he is abolishing taxes. Now we got to be careful when we say that, okay? Danny, did he really say he's abolishing all the taxes? I don't know about that. What really, I'm gonna say this. What really made me say with Donald Trump with the taxes, I did like the fact that he said that he was not going to tax tips. I respect that, because anybody who has worked where it comes down with tips, where you're making more money from tips than you are from your pay, from your job. Okay, so such as being a waiter, such as, in that world, you live off of those tips, and you cannot afford for tax tips to be taxed. Okay, so I can respect, that aspect as far as not taxing tips. I can respect that. Eyes of Art says my rent went up to almost $5,000. That's a house. But I can't get a house because I need a loan. But I could pay rent like I live in a house. And see, as you say that, then now we're talking about Kamala Harris. Because now Kamala Harris, she based off of her policies, she says she is catering to stopping the price gouging of rent. She's stopping the price gouging of actually getting a house. She's actually for first-time homeowners. We got to put it out there that $25,000. She's put it out there. And even for people who have children, the first year, the child you have that's 1 year, you're going to receive a child tax credit of $6,000. So people like, you eyes, Kamala Harris, her policies are leaning towards that. See, those are the things that I feel Kamala Harris has the win on, right? But then Donald Trump, he has the win on, okay, I'm not going to tax you on your tips. I also believe in, as far as quote unquote, based off of my vice president, J.D. Vance, I'm pro-life. I feel this way, so these are things people are actually trying to, make a decision, right? But one thing I noticed, neither candidate has talked about. The only people that spoke about it, I'm going to be honest. And hello, you guys. Welcome for coming in. The only thing that I noticed that Trump and Harris, neither one of them has spoken about, but their vice president candidate spoke about, J.D. Vance and Tim Walz spoke about, was the mental health, right? Trump and Harris, when they had their debate, neither one of them hinted or spoke about how serious this mental health is, and they didn't really, speak on it and correlate the mental health as far as connecting the dots, even when it comes down to, the crime that's going on here in America, right? When I say the crime, mental health, and connecting the mental health with these gun laws, okay? So we have to, look at things like that. And I do respect the fact Tim Walz and JD Vance, they did speak about that in their debate. I can say I respect both of them for doing that. And I'm gonna go into the comments. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. We're talking about, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. Where as of now the candidates are standing in the swing states, and these are the pivotal states that Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they really, really need as far as those electoral votes goes. I'm going to show it to you. The first state, of course, Phoenix, Arizona, is 76% and 24%. The next state is Georgia, 66% for Trump and 34% for Harris. Amanda says, we cannot afford to keep giving our money to other countries and ignoring our problems at home. Amanda, you know what? See, it's some things that I can't say, and that's why I need people like you in the chat to say it. Danny, you got me almost. I was like, I had to be kind of careful. You called me when you said what policies I'm for. But Amanda, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct, because billions and billions of dollars has been sent to other countries, but we cannot deal with our own issues here in America. We cannot deal with the crime that's going on in America. We cannot deal with these laws. People are having differences when it comes down to how the states are being ran, when it comes down to the border control, when it comes down, it's a lot of things here that we need to deal with, right? We in America need to deal with, rather than dealing with these other countries. Because look what's happened in Ukraine. Look what's happened. Russia is connecting to where? It's a lot going on, right? So it's like, when will the war stop? Right? When will it stop? And as for Gaza, I have to be careful when I talk about Gaza, because I think Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they're both kind of weary about, taking a stance. Donald Trump, he said that if you vote for him, he will end the war, right? He will end it. But let's be realistic. It doesn't work like that, right? Unless he's going to do another executive order like he did back when he was president, right? Unless he does that. But people have to understand, you can't just say I'm going to end the war and you're just like, this is America. We are not we're not even really supposed to be involved in these other wars. So who am I to say, well, I'm going to end this war, right? I'm not Israel. I'm not, it's just like, I'm not the people in Gaza. I'm not the people in Ukraine, Russia. Like, who am I to say I'm going to end this war and I want to end it now? It's so many things that come in. But what I can say that I want people to come home. I want people to come home. But Donald Trump, like I stated, what Donald Trump has said, okay, with him, he said that he wants the war to end. Kamala Harris says she will support, quote unquote, Israel. She will support it. But guess what? You can support Israel, and I want people to understand this. You can support Israel, you can support Ukraine, you can support whomever you feel, right? But that doesn't mean that support comes with a war, because war doesn't help anything. It makes matters worse, right? That is why I think Amanda said it. We have to unite. We have to come together. And uniting and coming together does not mean showing your support by sending money out to different countries, because that is not how you solve a problem. That's not how you solve it. What happens when you do this, and you guys see what's going on, what happens when you do this, it causes us here in America to become more in deficit. We are going to end up in more in deficit. Why? Because we're sending so much money out, and then we have problems, issues going on already here in America that we have to deal with. Hello, you guys. Welcome. This is Politic Graham. I'm talking about politics, and shout out to Danny. Shout out to Danny. BM says, Diddy was strategic smokescreen. Oh no, not the smokescreen. BM says, Tim ain't got a clue. He is the real life. Oh Lord, we know who you voting for, BM. Roman says, I will vote for whoever frees. Oh no, not the Diddy. How did Diddy get in this? Eyes of Art says they were speaking about health insurance and Medicaid. Well, see, when it comes down to, I want people to get this. I think with Trump and Kamala Harris, when it comes down to these various policies where they stand, I'm gonna be frank. You never know what somebody's really gonna do until they take that role, right? People can say what they're gonna say. They can say it, but once you get into that role, like Joe Biden is in that role, like Donald Trump has been in that role, and George W. Bush was in that role, Barack Obama was in that role, Ronald Reagan was in that role, Jimmy Carter, who's 100 years old, he's still living and breathing amidst this madness that's going on. He was in that role as president. You're never gonna know until you become the president. It's a big difference. See, people don't understand, and this is like with anything in life, right? Like it's one thing you say it, even with Kamala Harris. She says, I did this when I was attorney general. I did this when I was senate. I did this when I was district attorney. Yes, I did this when I was vice president. While I'm vice president, I have the expertise. But what are you going to do when you're president, and you're president now, like in the present of 2024, 2025? What are you going to do then? And even with Donald Trump, he says, well, I did this, I did that. But what are you going to do now? Because all what you did in the past is irrelevant. Why? Because we have wars right now going on. We have actual wars. Light inside says, anyone who's winning. Okay, hello, light inside says, hello, please let me know who is winning. Thank you. And thank you for coming in, you guys. It's Politic Graham. As far as who's winning, I'm going to stroll up according to polymarket.com. Okay, fair use. I just want people to actually see this. You can see it for yourself. And it's showing the red. Okay, Trump is 57%. Kamala Harris is 43%. However, we cannot really look at this, right? Why we can't really look at this? Right? Because it always changes. And then Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they have been making their stops in the swing states. So when you ask who's winning, quote unquote, it fluctuates. That is why Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, they're doing so much together. It's not even funny. Like I don't know where you guys live. And hello, Mrs. Shamrock. I know where you live. Hello, you guys. I can't speak for everybody in this chat, but I know where I live. I live in a swing state of Georgia. Georgia is very, it's very spicy, right? It can go either way. And that is why Donald Trump, and if people can't remember, Donald Trump got in a little trouble here in Georgia. And to the point, the governor here in Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp, the Republican, Donald Trump even, kind of said some, not so nice words towards Governor Brian Kemp. It's, he said some not so nice words. If we can go back to what happened back in 2020, Donald Trump said, and I quote, I need 11,000 votes. We gotta think about that, right? Yes, Kay Chapman says Trump don't like Kemp. That's why I said Georgia is a very spicy state. Why? Because not only does Trump not like Kemp, Kemp is the governor, for one. And Donald Trump actually wanted Governor Kemp to intervene when, during that Joe Biden and Trump election, right? When supposedly Donald Trump lost, okay? So Donald Trump is really trying to get that. He's really trying to actually get the win here in Georgia. But we also got to keep in mind the governor is kind of, not on the same side. Well, he's not on the same side as the governor. Governor Kemp, what I can say about Governor Brian Kemp, he's trying to be neutral. He's trying to be fair. He's trying to be fair as far as the Republicans, and he doesn't want to end up like a lot of the co-defendants that are here in Georgia, because Donald Trump does have a case that's been paused here in Georgia. He does have a case here that's been paused. And Brian Kemp is not trying to get in that. He's really, really not. He doesn't want to end up like former mayor Rudy Giuliani, okay? Rudy Giuliani, he's lost a lot, okay? Because he support so much of himself. He supported so much of himself into Donald Trump that he ended up hurting his livelihood. I'll say it that way. And Governor Kemp doesn't want to get into all of that. And mind you, he is Republican. So this is the state I live in. Imagine, just think about it, you guys. I live in a state where Donald Trump, who is Republican, he does not agree with the governor who's the Republican. He's a Republican of the state of Georgia, okay? And this is the same state that he needs for the win, one of the swing states. So just imagine what's going on here. You have Democrats changing over to Republicans. You have Republicans changing over to Democrats. Then, like Diary, I don't know if Diary is still in here. You also have people that want to just say, you know what, I'm not going to vote for neither Kamala Harris nor Donald Trump. I might just go ahead and put a write-in in, or I might just go ahead and vote for Cornel West, right? That's what's going on here in Georgia. So I want people to kind of understand, like, it's a lot that we have at hand here. And hello, Popcorns, to answer your question, who's winning, quote unquote, this is what it's looking like. 57% Donald Trump, right? And 43% Harris. But like I stated earlier, we cannot, quote unquote, go off of those numbers, because every week it has been changing. And to top it all off, just like I stated, what's been going on, and that was the topic I was going to talk about. A lot of ballots have been getting vandalized, damaged, and because of that, votes are not being counted. Votes have not been, quote unquote, counted. And this is all before the election. Just think about that. All before the election, you have hundreds and hundreds of ballots being burnt and damaged. And now people who voted early, they always tell people to vote early. You have people, they're going to have to come in tomorrow and vote, right? These are things that's going on right now. Bob says, find enough ballots. See, this is why we are, some people are very nervous for tomorrow, right? People are very, very nervous, because of the election, and because more people now, it seems, according to what's been reported, now they're going to have to actually have bulletproof at these voting polls. Just think about that. It's gotten that serious. And I want to say it's more serious now than it was back in 2020. Just think about that. It's more serious now in the Kamala Harris and Donald Trump election than it was in the Joe Biden and Donald Trump election. Just think about that. And even so much to the point where, look at what happened. They're still looking for this gentleman who actually burnt, vandalized hundreds and hundreds of ballots, hundreds of them, damaged it, in Washington, Vancouver. He did this October the 28th, and they still cannot find this gentleman. They still cannot find him. And then to top it all off, people, people, I don't know what's to come. I really don't know what's to come tomorrow, because it's kind of sad. Just like Danny says, it's sad because now we really don't know what, which way it's gonna go. We really don't, because just like I said in this live, at this particular time, you have the numbers are just going up and down, right? And you have, when it comes down to the policies, right? I just told you guys earlier, you have 65% of black men, they're leaning towards Donald Trump, and then you have 31% of women, they're leaning towards Kamala Harris. But then why are they leaning towards Donald Trump, and why are they leaning towards Kamala Harris? Why? Because Kamala Harris, she said it herself, and I'm gonna see if I can play it. She said it herself when it comes down to a woman's rights, okay, a woman's body, pro-choice more so than pro-life, right? So women are really gonna tune into that. Women are actually tuning into that, right? They want to feel like they're being heard. They want to feel like they're being represented by a woman that is running for president. Okay, so, and hello you guys, this is Politic Graham. We're talking about the politics, and I hope I answered that question. Palm courts, as well as somebody else asked the question as well. How, who's winning? I hope I answered the question. Diary says, if she get in office, I'ma get drafted. Don't get scared. No, see, that's why I said, don't. And I want people to understand this, just like I said earlier in this live. People say a lot of things, right? People say a lot of things, but it makes a big difference once you get into that office. It makes a huge difference. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, they say all this now, right? They say all this now, but wait when they become president. It's going to be a whole different tune. And hello, Tune. Speak of the odds. Tune says, you vote a president by their gen. Are you asking me that? No, Tune. I'm going to pin what you just asked. I'm going to pin what you just asked. And I want people to answer that question, do you vote for a president by their gender? And some people do, because remember, like I said, with the policies, women want to be heard. Women want to feel like they are heard, and that they have a right to know how they're going to, use and treat their own body, and not have any government or state or doctor make the decision for them. So that is why some women are leaning towards Kamala Harris. And for me personally, to answer your question, Tune, if that question is for me, my answer to that is no. I don't vote for that. I vote off of policies. I vote off of my personal opinion of what I want, okay, for change and for unite, okay? Because I don't know if you're just coming in. I believe in people uniting. I believe in people coming home. I believe in a child having a voice, okay? A child having a voice, okay? So that's my answer. I don't know about anybody else in the chat, anybody else that's watching. I want you guys to really answer that question. Do you vote for a president by gender? And it's nothing against it, if that's what you want to do, because that's what people are doing. That's what people are doing. Some people are actually doing that. Just like I stated, 61% of black men, they're voting for Trump. They are voting for Trump. They don't really see that Kamala Harris is the voice. And Kamala Harris, like I said, the women are leading and voting for Kamala Harris. So like I said, if you want to vote for gender, it's nothing against it. But like I said, how I vote, I don't vote that way. I go off of policy. Danny says, hey sis, do you watch Redacted on YouTube. No, I haven't watched Redacted. I feel like that's a trick question. I'm going to take notes. I feel like that's a trick question, Danny. I tell you, you come at me with the real. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. We're talking about politics and how not to be deterred. As far as being afraid to go vote tomorrow. If you live here in America, do not be afraid to vote. Do not fall for these false information that has been put out. And the FBI has had to get involved and let people know that the rumors that you have been hearing, those are false. And, to not be afraid. And Danny says, no, it's not. What is not? What is not? I'm going to go into the comments. Hello, you guys. Please hit that like button. We're talking about politics. I was going to talk about Young Thug, but I'm not going to. I guess I'm going to do a whole nother video about Young Thug and Gunna, because obviously this is the topic of the day. Politics, election day is tomorrow. And just like I stated, what's been going on recently, Kay Chapman said, I like Young Thug too. I like Young Thug too, but it's like, the people in the chat are, I'm going wherever the chat is, this is your, and that's one thing I want to make sure people understand when it comes down to YouTube. People don't really understand, this is where we're supposed to have a voice, right? Within reason, because this is YouTube. But I want people to understand that for me, on my platform, I go off of what you guys in the chat, as far as, if you want to talk about politics, we can talk about politics, right? If you want to wing on back to quote unquote Young Thug, we can do that. But like I said, as far as election day goes, I noticed that the candidates, neither one of them really spoke about the mental health. And that is what's going on when it comes down to people, random people do not, it's like they're damaging mailboxes, they're damaging ballots, they're vandalizing and causing, a ruckus right now, so votes won't be counted for. And that's what's going on. Cyrus says, talk about Thugger. Talk about Thugger. And Tony says, you don't go off of policy, you go off culture. What you're told to do by the algorithm every day, Tony. And see, I'm glad you say that. Look, you go by the algorithm. And like I stated, with the algorithm, I guess people want to talk about politics. I guess. I don't know. It's looking like politics. Brianna, hello, Tony. Welcome for coming in. Brianna says, no one is turned off from Kamala because of her gender. They don't like her solely based on her character. Whoa. Why is this even a discussion? Well, welcome, Brianna. The reason this is a discussion, because people want to really know, why are the numbers looking the way they're looking right now? Who's winning, right? That's why people are wanting to know that, right? Because, the numbers are looking very, very, wow, up and down. So that's why people want to know, And look, I have nothing against, as people want to vote for who they vote for. My stance on that, as far as voting, I want to also make sure I state that. That's why I want to talk about the politics part, because what's been coming on and going on in the news and in the media, you have had people vandalize the ballots, okay? And people are actually afraid to go vote tomorrow. And I want to just put that out. Go vote. You don't have to live in fear. They are already making sure things are getting taken care of, as far as, like I said, now they're having 24-hour round the clock. It's gotten to that level at these different locations when it comes down to the ballot boxes, when it comes down to the actual places that you will be voting, the locations of the polls. They are actually going to those extreme to protect, according to the FBI, according to the law enforcement and the authorities. Um, Amanda says, agreed, her character is not a good look for us. And yes, you guys are right. You guys are right as far as her quote unquote character. I'm gonna say, and see, you guys say character. See me, because I want to make sure I don't step on anybody's toes. But I think we're saying the same thing for what I'm about to say. I'm saying this way: just stand on what you mean and mean what you say. If you say you're for one type of policy, stick with it. Don't say this when you're running for president, right? And then you get the vice president role. Now you're changing your opinion on things. And even with Donald Trump, I'll say Donald Trump as well. Because Donald Trump, I mean, he had so much to say to question Kamala Harris, ethnicity, I'll say it that way. But when the Democrats really came for Donald Trump, then he backed off. Then he said, I don't care about that. But then why did you bring it up? So my thing is, whatever you stand, right? Stick with it. As they say it with your chest, right? Be assertive and firm with it. Because now, the Gloria says you have at least 50 subs. Get a profile. And Gloria says, hello, Glorious. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you coming in. And Diary says black. Diary says black. Amanda says exactly. Wonder why she refused the Joe Rogan interview. You know why she refused the Joe Rogan interview? Come on now, you guys. You know why Kamala Harris refused the Joe Rogan interview? Because Joe Rogan is going to ask those questions that she doesn't want to answer. Same thing for Candace Owens. She would never do an interview with Candace Owens. She would never do it. Why? Because Candace Owens is going to ask those questions, the same type of questions and the same type of move Joe Rogan would do, right? And I want people to also understand this. Anytime people do these interviews, they have to already know what the questions are being asked, right? But with Candace Owens and Joe Rogan, they're going to ask, I'm going to tell you what we're going to ask. That's what it is. So, yeah, so for me personally, like I stated, I mean, you vote how you want to vote, but I say, remember, whoever you vote for, stand on your policies. If you have your certain policies, then say, okay, does this person support this? Does this person support that? Then that's where you go. As far as the character goes, I mean, we could say either or for both. I go off of policies, like that, because like I say, we could say that for both Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. We could question, both of their, ways. I'll say it that way. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Thanks for coming in. We're talking about the politics, and I want to have a topic. As far as this mental health goes, I don't know if you know about what happened in Orlando, Florida, Halloween, and this is also in Florida because it's another state. Here we go. That's been in the headlines, and who's the governor? I mean, come on now, DeSantis. We got to look at all of this. In Orlando, Florida, we had another mass pop, I'm trying to be very careful with the words, another mass hit, okay? And a number of people got injured, okay? 2 people were deleted, 8 people were injured. As a matter of fact, one lady, she got injured trying to run away. She got trampled on. The reason I'm talking about that is because I'm going to stroll up. This is the incident that transpired, and this was by a 17-year-old. I'm going to show his face. This is the 17-year-old that we're talking about. Why is this headlines? Because what? The gun laws. right? That's another topic that's in the politics, and people are kind of on the fence. Kamala Harris is this way when it comes down to making sure there's strong policies when it comes down to that. And then Donald Trump, he's another route, right? But Kamala Harris, she says, "Hey, I also am an owner. I'm also am an owner, right? Me and Tim Walz, we're owners, but there's ways you can deal with it." But my question is this: How is it a 17-year-old was able to just come into this crowd, because according to the authorities, the laws were changed. Okay? They could not, I'm going to make sure I read it right, cuz I don't want to say anything wrong. Okay? Restrictions were changed, right? They were changed last year. Why? Because of the stipulations when it comes down to the newly permissive laws, meaning you have a right to carry a concealed pop, okay? So because these new laws came in, you could carry a concealed you know what. And what were the results? A lot of people are blaming Florida's new laws for this. What happened? This is what actually happened, okay? A 17-year-old named Jalen Ecker Jeffrey actually came with a group of 30 church members. I cannot make this up. He came with a group of 30 church members. They didn't even know that he had a concealed pop. And as you can see what happened, I'm not showing any, delete it, but as you can see, people were running, and right where I have this arrow, someone was actually deleted. And even in this area, Mr. Jeffrey, I'm sorry, Mr. Jalen Ecker, he actually was arrested. And so many people, yes, it sounds wild. Hello, the herbal goddess. So many people were running. You cannot make this up. This gentleman that I'm showing you, people were running so fast, he jumped out of his own shoe. One of his shoes came off. And that is why the police was able to actually arrest him. He dropped it. His shoe came off. Mind you, he had a concealed, He had already deleted 2 individuals and injured 8 people in the midst of this huge crowd. And according to what they said, they always have this Halloween event every year. And this Halloween event brings, according to what they said, 50,000 to 100,000 people. Okay? And this is what we have to actually think about. What is going on with, with these laws, right? Because now, see, that's why I said anybody can say they'll do something when they become president, but what are you going to do, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris? What are you going to do to stop things like this from continuing to happen? And when I say continuing to happen, someone like this gentleman, a teenager, 17 years old, he did not finish high school. They even did an interview, and I'm going to show an interview that his brother did with the news. Said that he thought that he was on the up and up. That's why he came with a 30-member church set of 30 church members. They attended this event. He attended with these church members, trying to put him on a better route. But I'm going to show his brother. I'm going to show you the interview that he did. One moment. He show it to you. I'm sorry. I'm going to show you the interview. This is his brother and his response to the conversation he had with his brother that day of the incident.
Jeffrey says he last spoke to Jalen 2 days ago, a phone call where he says he urged his little brother to get back on track and get his GED.
He wanted to get back in school, but I was telling him one day, man, like, bro, like, you're different. And that's a good thing, like, when you're called to be a leader. lean. You don't have to follow.
Jeffrey says he doesn't know who, if anyone, his brother was targeting. He just wishes he had spotted Jalen in the crowd before he allegedly pulled.
So I'm gonna freeze it there because I'm not trying to lose my page. This is fair use. But as you can see, it was a lot of people at this event. They have it every year in Orlando, Florida. And where you see the circle, that's when stuff came about. I'm going to get off this particular part. But yes, these are the things that, the candidates need to have a conversation. They need to have a conversation about, right? As far as these laws, because the laws in Florida, it was recently changed for you to be able to carry a concealed pop. But remember when I stated the mental health is real. You have to deal with the root causes, right? My personal stance on this particular policy, right? I have nothing against the carry, you have to protect yourself, right? But my issue with that is you have to be able to have properly trained authorities to deal with people such as this gentleman, okay? And I apologize, his name is Jalen Ecker. His brother name is Jeffrey Ecker. I apologize. His name is Jalen. His brother's name is, yes, I had to say pop, concealed pop. So, these are things that I wish the candidates, both of them, had spoke about, because you're going to continue to see things like this happen. You're going to continue to see things like this come about, because this gentleman, he was at the event with church members. And, they always tell you, go to church, that's supposed to be a place to help. And then they also say, where was his family? You just saw he had a brother. His brother had a conversation with him. His brother's named Jeffrey. His half brother had a conversation with him. The Gloria says they all got a pop, but no pop. No pop. Hello, Space Cab. Welcome. Space Cab says Trump couldn't handle the pandemic, and you think he's good as a leader. Get therapy. I never said that, did I? Right? I never said either or. Jordan says you are parenting a sound bite and feel confident in that objectively. It is you who could benefit from therapy. Oh my goodness. Okay. I will say this. All I'm asking in regards to, as far as what's to come tomorrow, is I want people to actually vote. And I also want people to not be in fear. And I'm going to stroll down. This is everything that you see. This is what I have typed. This is my work, okay? This is my work, YouTube, okay? I want people to understand you can't be in fear. You cannot be in quote-unquote fear. And that is what's going on. It seems like so much has been going on this last month. Like I stated, they have had ballot drop-off boxes being set on fire, okay? And that has happened. Phoenix, Arizona. That's a quote-unquote swing state. Had an incident. October 24th, October 28th, 2 states. You had Washington, Vancouver, you had Portland, Oregon, you had both of these places. They were in a situation that caused a number of people ballots to end up being damaged, where now they're going to have to come in to vote tomorrow. Okay? This is the situation that's going on. And I want people to understand, please vote. Amanda said she never said a candidate either way. Thank you. I'm going to pin what you said. I appreciate that, Amanda. Thank you so much. Yes, I never said that. I never said either way. All I'm saying is vote, and I'm stating the difference, right? As far as the policies go. I'm being very neutral. I'm being very fair because I don't want this platform to be a place where, I'm pro this, what pro Trump and pro Kamala Harris, and only come on my page if you're for Trump, or only come on my page if you're for Kamala Harris. I genuinely welcome everybody. Why? Because this is a safe space. This is a safe place, right? We don't need to see any more of this, what you're seeing. What you're seeing in this, these are actual authorities. They're trying to set out a fire that someone that they still have not found, okay? That they still have not found. He set a fire on 2 ballot boxes. Well, I'm sorry, not 2, but different boxes in 2 different states, okay? So we have to kind of understand, we don't need to have any more, how can I say, differences. We need to unite. And if you don't get anything else from this live, please don't be in fear. Go vote. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Go vote. And I say that because I'm going to show what the numbers are looking like right now. I'm going to show it. Okay? What the numbers are quote unquote looking like. And one moment, you guys. And hello, welcome to Politic Graham. We're talking about politics. The gentleman that you're looking at, he was one of the men that sabotaged the votes in Phoenix, Arizona, when he damaged, yes, you heard right, damaged a number of ballots, 20 ballot boxes to be counted. Okay, he damaged them. Okay, so I want you guys to know, like, just go vote. Space Cap says, not you, the guy talking about Trump in chat. I forgot his name. Kay Chapman says, Trump almost got pop of, yes, a few times. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Kay Chapman. A few times got pop. And I want people to actually understand that this is why we need to come together and vote. And like I said, this is Politic Graham. Welcome to the platform. We're talking about politics today. And I'm going off of however, the chat goes. Okay? However the chat goes, that's where I will go. Right? Because I respect this platform, this channel, and I welcome all. Now, like I stated, the numbers. I'm going to show you the current numbers. One moment. Let me show it to you guys. Hold on. Let me show it to you guys. One moment. Yes, right here. These are the numbers, and like I tell people, you cannot go, and I want people to understand this. When you see this, and I guarantee you're going to see these numbers look exactly like this or similar. Not quite exactly, but similar. I guarantee you. And I implore you guys to come tomorrow. I'm trying to see if I should change the time because, voting, voting is going, when it starts. It's going to be wild tomorrow. I implore you guys to actually come back and see these numbers because I guarantee you these numbers are not going to be the same. They're not. And, the last election proved it all, right? It proved it all, right? The electoral votes are the votes that it seems like it's going to be counting. Because look what happened. And that is why Donald Trump is in the position that he's in right now, with the Democrats. I remember those words here in Georgia when he had that long phone call with the Georgia State Secretary. He had that long phone call. Even he had it stating he won't, and I quote, the 11,000 votes that he needed for the win here in Georgia. But see, the question is, What is going to come tomorrow? How will these states look tomorrow? And how specifically will these swing states, I repeat, will these swing states look tomorrow? Because I'm telling you right now, it is going to be very, very interesting, right? And popular votes, and electoral votes is very, very different. And like I stated, it's going to look very interesting for these numbers tomorrow, because look how Nevada is looking right now. It says it's 60% Trump and 40% Harris, right? But what's to come tomorrow? Michigan, 60% Harris. She's leading, right, in the votes now. And it's 40% Trump in Michigan. Georgia is my state. It can go either way. Just because it says 66% now and 34% Harris, you know what happened in the year of 2020? Who's to say, right? Wisconsin, 59% Harris, 41% Trump. Okay? And Phoenix, Arizona, I can't say it anymore. 76% Trump and 24% Harris. And in Pennsylvania, right? We got to remember what happened in Pennsylvania. We got to remember. And I'm going to play a clip of what happened in Pennsylvania. I really think, in my personal opinion, and you guys tell me, I think because of what happened recently, okay, that is why Donald Trump is leading 57% in Pennsylvania to Kamala's 43%. I think it could have easily went another way, but because of what somebody said, I'm going to show the clip, and you guys tell me, and hello, you guys, hit that like button. I want you guys to hit that like button and comment. I want you guys to comment and have the conversation. Who do you think will win tomorrow? Where's your stance on policies? Where are your stance on these policies? Okay? And when I say these policies, as far as Kamala Harris policy, as far as Donald Trump's policies, where are your stances on this? And I'm going to show you a video why I think with Pennsylvania, why the numbers are looking the way it's looking right now, because just like I stated, it could have went either way. So for anybody coming in, as far as the numbers go, it fluctuates. 1 week, I'm serious, I can't make this up. 1 week, Kamala Harris was leading. Then the next week, it was Donald Trump. But people are stating, some critics are suggesting that Donald Trump might end up winning based off of these numbers, right? He might. Why? Because I stated earlier, and welcome you guys for coming in. I stated earlier, 61% of the black men are voting, according to reports, are leaning towards Donald Trump, whereas 31% of the women are leaning towards Kamala Harris. Why, you say? I personally think, and I'm going to show the clip, why I think that. What deterred the black men, okay, supposedly the black men, what deterred them so far off, away from Kamala Harris, to lean so far towards Donald Trump that would make them say, okay, we've had enough? What would make 61% of the black men, and these are the same men that voted for Joe Biden back in 2020. These are the same individuals that voted for Joe Biden, okay? These are the same individuals, okay? But what is it now that made them say, I'm voting for Trump now? What was it? And I mean, me personally, like I stated, it can go either way. I'm trying to give me a moment. I'm trying to actually pull the clip up for you guys on what I specifically think why the men are saying we've had enough. And give me one moment. And thank you guys for coming in. This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button. I'm just going to show a clip. And like I stated, I'm not trying to quote unquote pick a side and do all of that. I'm not doing that. No, we're not doing it. This is a platform that welcomes all. And I'm going to show a clip of someone that made the black men say, not this year. You're not going to get us this year.
I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is.
Whoa. You hear that? This particular clip was in Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. This particular clip is former President Barack Obama. He's questioning the black men. Are you a man? You a man if you don't vote? If you decide to not vote, are you a man? Remember who brought you in this world, who supported you, who had you on their backs, the women. Remember that. That's what Barack, that is the energy that he gave. And that is why I think specifically why you have this small little percentage right here where it says 57% now are for Trump versus Kamala Harris in, Pennsylvania. I think the men had enough. I think they said, you're not going to question my gender. You're not going to question my manhood. Because based off of what former President Barack Obama said, he's questioning, are you a man? Are you a black man? Because real men support women. Real men, it's time to vote for the women. Because the women has had our backs all these years. So that's what I think. I mean, now, like I stated, tomorrow's another day. And we will see what's to come. We will actually see. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Thank you for coming in. We are talking about the politics, okay? And as you're looking at the numbers do not tell a lie. This is the current numbers for, the candidates, Donald Trump and the vice president. Current Vice President Kamala Harris, she's running for president. These are the numbers for the swing states, okay? So we have to take all this into play, okay? And I'm going to go back to where I was. I'm going to go back to where I was. And this is what the topic of this discussion was and is going on as far as these ballots, right? People are being afraid. People are being given misinformation, and now they're being afraid to go vote. And it's gotten to the point now, even with the Biden administration and Kamala Harris, they're making sure they're getting their teams ready. They don't want to have another incident come about like what happened back in January the 6th at the Capitol Hill, right? At the White House. They don't want to have another incident. Even they don't want to have another incident where Donald Trump questioned the votes. So Kamala Harris is getting her legal team, to protect the votes, as they say. That's why I said, don't be afraid, you guys. You have to go vote. You have to go vote and know that you can't be afraid. You can't, because when you are afraid, people like this individual who they're still looking for in Portland, Oregon, who vandalized a number of ballots, he is still on the run. And he thinks that he has won by destroying hundreds and hundreds of ballots. He thinks he has won. But you guys, we have to vote. We have to let our voices be heard. And like I stated, I'm not for, how can I say this? I'm not going to sit here and say vote for Trump, vote for Harris. No, I want you to vote. Vote for who you want to vote for based off of the policies that you stand for. Okay? That is why we are citizens. That is what America is supposed to be for, as far as the land of freedom and democracy. So use that right. Use that right that you was given to vote. Don't just waste it away in fear. And last but not least, don't waste it away in anger. And I want to say that also, with this election day tomorrow, I don't know about you guys, but I know in my quote unquote state, there is a local government chapter we're voting for. We're voting for different positions. So if you don't want to quote unquote just, you don't feel like voting for the president, vote for whatever is in your local government. Here in the state of Georgia, we have we're trying to make a decision if we're gonna, have a different district attorney or not. And this particular difference in district attorney is also a major factor in the political game. Why? Because the state I live in, Donald Trump, he has a case. And according to the person that's running for district attorney, her name is Courtney Kramer, she stated, and I quote, "If you vote for me, the case will be dropped." The case, the Donald Trump and the co-defendants in regards to the election, yes, she said the case will be dropped here in Georgia if you vote for her as district attorney. And yes, she is representing Republican. So that's why I say, for me, it's more than that. I would actually have to not only vote for either Trump or Harris, I'm going to have to decide who's going to be the district attorney, because whoever I pick as the district attorney, that's going to also decide what happens to Trump, Donald Trump, here in the state of Georgia. Will the trial continue, right? Will the trial continue where they decide if he becomes convicted or not? And then there's a whole nother process of sentencing. So like I stated, where I live in my state, it is a big role. Like my vote is not, it's bigger than just voting for president. It's bigger. And that is why Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they have been coming to Georgia routinely every week. Like even J.D. Vance, as well as Jill Biden, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. A lot of people have been coming. Even Saturday, Herschel Walker, former NFL player. If you guys can know who Herschel Walker is, he, for the love of God, he took the stage and he spoke at a Donald Trump rally supporting Donald Trump. So you have a lot of people that are doing this every week. They're having these heavy rallies in these swing states that they know you as a people, or us as a people, we make the vote. And even the electoral votes, they definitely make the votes, right? And that's why they've been pitching. They have been pitching very hard. Very, very, very hard. So, you guys, thank you for coming in. This is Politic Graham. I want to ask you guys this. What are your stance on, the different policies that Kamala Harris has, that Donald Trump has? Because like I stated, now with the numbers, it is looking as Donald Trump is 57% and Kamala Harris is 43%. You know, numbers are kind of close. And like I stated, you know, it can go either way tomorrow. If you vote, your vote counts. And I'm going to actually show, since we're talking about the politics part, and hit that like button. This is Politic Ground. Thank you for coming in. I want to make sure I say one thing. Give me one moment, because this has to be said. So give me one moment. Now, this is how I'm feeling, you know, because of all what's been going on. You know, it's just very, very wild. I'll say it that way. You know, as far as the people tensions are high. You know, they're very, you know, frustrated, and some people now are getting very afraid, so much to the point, you know, the FBI had to come in and say, you know, a lot of these things are not true. And then authorities are coming in and dealing with matters such as ballots being destroyed. So I want you guys to, you know, just, you know, don't be afraid. You know your vote counts, right? And on that note, I want to thank you guys for coming in. Thank you so much. I want to go down the list. Space Cab, thank you for coming in. Amanda, thank you for coming in. Kay Chapman, thank you for coming in. I'm gonna try to I think I tried to pin you, but thank you so much, Kay Chapman, for coming in. Thank you, The Glorious Content, Jordan Wicks. Thank you for coming in. The Herbal Goddess, thank you for coming in. I'm going up. Joel, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in, Joel, the 70s baby. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming in. Shout out to Chat on Demand. Shout out to JB7. Thank you for coming in. Shout out to Narendra. Thank you for coming in. Danny Ramos, thank you for coming in. Amanda, thank you for coming in. Dari, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you guys for coming in. Hawaii for coming in. I'm going up. Dura, thank you for coming in. Cyrus, thank you for coming in. Tony, thank you for coming in. Brianna, thank you for coming in. Jacqueline, Mark West, Mr. Jerry, AJVD, Dio, thank you for coming in. Helchi, thank you for coming in. Eyes of Art, thank you for coming in. Tune for thank you for coming in. And I'm going to make sure I put you in as a standard moderator. Thank you for coming in. Bob, thank you for coming in. Make sure I go up. Jacqueline, thank you for coming in. PMM, making sure I have everybody. Matt, Cat, Jack, Jaslyn, Mrs. Shamrock, Orion, thank you for coming in. Yes, Pop, thank you. Pop Courts, thank you for coming in. And everybody, Light Inside, thank you for coming in. Gus, thank you for coming in. Call Me Breeze, Lisa, Driver, everybody, thank you for coming in. Roman, thank you for coming in. Patrick, Sony, Case, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in, Mike. Thank you for coming in, Patrick. Solman, thank you for coming in. Lisa, I'm going up. Rebecca, thank you for coming in. Derek, Victor, thank you for coming in. It's a lot, but I got to respect you guys. I love you guys for coming in. I have to give you guys the utmost respect for coming in. Mr. Limey, Cal, Bill, thank you for coming in. The alleged Diddy in the house. Thank you for coming in. Yes, we had somebody in this chat named allegedly Diddy. How did Diddy get in this? I do not know how Diddy is able to come into the chat, and he is locked up in New York. He is in jail, but he was able to come into the chat and have a conversation about Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. But thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. And I want to make sure just to have this as a notation in regards to YouTube guidelines. YouTube, this is, I said it in the beginning and I said at the end, this is fair use copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, nonprofit, educational, personal use, tips, and the balance in the favor of fair use. And on that note, thank you guys for coming in today. I appreciate it. Shouts out to Trout on Demand, That Green Vegan, The Herbal Goddess. Thank you, you guys. I am Jacob. And I want to make sure I always give this at the end for you guys just for motivation. Number one, eliminate the if, focus on the present. Number two, focus on self, not on others. 3, tell yourself I will learn something new every day. 4, I will not get upset. Tell yourself I will not get upset. I don't have control of what I don't have control of. And 5, advocate for yourself and speak up. Okay? Once again, this is why, please vote. Do not live in fear. Advocate for yourself. You have a voice. Don't fall into what others tell you. This is Politic Ground. Please remain in peace and have a peace of mind. And hopefully I might come on later on tonight and talk about Young Thug. Yes, Young Thug. I'm not finna forget about him because I have done too much research to waste my energy and doing my research on Young Thug as well as Gunna, Lil Baby, and all of them. I'll talk to you guys soon. This is Politic Ground. Bye.